me, baby. I think I wanna marry you.
We are ready. So if anybody watching, they know somebody getting married, maybe they're planning their own wedding, this can be a little bit of a stressful time, but thankfully we have Dustin Green. He is from WeMakeWeddingsEasy.com. Dustin, thanks for coming on the show.
Good to be here. I can't tell you how many times I hear that song at a wedding. It's a popular one, for sure.
It definitely is. So tell us all about your website, WeMakeWeddingsEasy.com.
Well, we own a few companies in the Johnstown area, and it is a hub for brides and grooms to just find their way when they're looking for services for a wedding in the Johnstown and Blair County region.
Yeah, which is so great. So you are right here in the 814. You're in Johnstown. Thanks for making the drive, by the way. But so it's 4 different businesses under one umbrella. Tell us first about the banquet venue, Aces.
Aces is an historic venue in Johnstown. I'm glad to be a new owner of it. And the venue is famous for being in Slapshot, the movie. I don't know if you remember that from the 1970s. But it was a discotheque in its early days, and now it's been remodeled into a beautiful wedding venue.
Yeah, so we have some photos there. What I think is amazing is you can transform just that space to look however you would like for your wedding or your big day.
Correct. With all of the services we offer under one roof, a bride and groom or a happy couple can come in and basically make one stop, and they can have their decorations taken care of, their food and beverage taken care of, everything taken care of for one price per person, and that's kind of our motto at Aces.
Wow. And how many people would you say, what are the sizes of the weddings?
The weddings vary at Aces from anywhere as low as 50 people, the whole way up to the 500, 600 mark. The venue's accommodating for 700 guests. It's a pretty big venue, but it can be scaled to be smaller for smaller occasions like 150 or so.
Okay. What's so great about the WeMakeWeddingsEasy.com is that it's kind of like a one-stop shop. So you can, find the venue, whether you're choosing Aces Banquet Hall or even the Conference Center.
Yes,
in
the
Johnstown.
Conference Center's new.
Yeah, tell us all about that.
The Conference Center, I've worked in the Conference Center for 20 years in my career, and it's owned by the City of Johnstown. And they recently, in September, acquired an RFP from us to manage the facility.
Okay.
And we're there managing the facility, and it's just a great new opportunity for us to take what we've done at Aces and bring it to light. We can see some beautiful pictures on the screen now of the Conference Center and some weddings produced there. It's a little bit larger of a facility than Aces, so it's meant for a wedding above that 150 mark, and it's very accommodating for different sizes events, and it's definitely a new project we have, and we're very excited for it.
That is so exciting. And so with people, when they do work with you, they get to choose between the venues, so they can tour Aces or also the Conference Center.
Yes, that's what's a beauty. Right now, it's kind of interesting. So when I have a couple call me, they call both numbers. They have no idea I'm sitting at both desks. So what we end up doing is doing a dual tour that day. We'll stop at Aces, and then we'll stop at the Conference Center. And then they can make an informed decision on what works best for them. And that's what I've been doing a lot lately, is dual tours between both facilities.
Yeah, so I have been wondering, because I know that some weddings had to be put on hiatus because of the pandemic. So is this your busy season? Did a lot of people reach out, post-COVID and say, hey, please help us. We've waited long enough. We want to get married. We want to do the whole party.
I think last year would have been that hiatus of when those hit, because a lot of people postponed for the 2022 season. I have 2 contracts left that are still from the COVID era that postponed.
Okay.
And then we'll be through that era. But yeah, that's what happened a lot. There was a lot of postponements and a lot of changes to the industry in a good way that helped us adapt with new things. Yeah.
What kind of changes? What's a little cutting? Is there something cutting edge?
Well, what it made us do is get more into the virtual world. So couples are more inclined to not worry if Aunt Ethel can't be there, and we Zoom her into the wedding. And the bride and groom can talk to them on an interface. That's one thing of our company. We do AV and production. So it's very easy for us to make it look like she's there, but not on Zoom. And the bride and groom can talk to her. I've done that numerous times since the pandemic, and it's now kind of become a little staple of an option for couples
really
that can't.
Nice, especially with distance. Imagine if somebody is, too far and they want to be there. Tell us about Top Dog Productions, because you're also the vice president of that as well.
Top Dog's really my baby. I've been working with Top Dog since I was 12. I met my business partner, Dustin Koval, just on a whim. I was looking for some equipment when I was 12 years old to start my garage DJ service, and we became fast friends. I found out he knew my parents. It was just a weird connection that flourished into now we're partners, 50% partners, great friends, and it's one of my highlights of the career for sure. When we grew Top Dog into the service offerings that it has too.
Well, I think that that's really important. So you guys provide the music and things like that, but also the virtual component of bringing in Aunt Ethel, our grandma. That's really special. So you get to work with so many great newlywed couples, I'm sure. They're so excited. What's some advice you would give? Where do I get started in planning a wedding?
Take your time. I think there's a big worry that you're going to lose out if you don't call the minute you get engaged or the minute you tour that venue. And I tell my customers, I'm holding the date for you indefinitely, really. If they sit down at the table, I hold the date for them indefinitely till they make a decision. That doesn't mean that we're not going to have an agreement or a deposit, but that gives them the time to really vet options. And there's nothing worse than rushing somebody when you go and buy something. This is a very big investment, a lot of planning. You want to make sure it's customized for your thing. And the biggest thing I always say is just take your time.
Yeah.
Take your time and enjoy the process.
And I love that. No pressure. You're going to make it easy. So you do have an event coming up. You're going to be at a bridal show this Sunday. Tell people how they can check you out.
The wedding show is at the Conference Center in Johnstown this Sunday. It starts at 12. There's a fashion show at 3. There is plenty of opportunities to see different vendors and taste food and win prizes. And then you can always register. I encourage you to pre-register. We have a link on our website, wemakewedingseasy.com, that you can click. It's right at the bottom. It says Johnstown Bridal Showcase. Click on that, and we hope to see you at the Conference Center in Johnstown for the show this upcoming Sunday.
Yeah, and I heard there's even some prizes, maybe some tastings, things like that, and getting to meet you. So Dustin from WeMakeWeddingsEasy.com, thanks so much for coming on the show. I actually feel a lot more relaxed. I feel like if I was getting married, I'd go to you. I'd be like, okay, take it away. But I'll take my time. Thanks for coming on the show, Dustin.
Thank you for having me.
And we'll have all those details over on our website after the show.